Hello. Good morning, afternoon, evening, good day to everyone. Once again, here we are with this most amazing, beautiful, I don't know, energy package here called Will Lily
Yay!
Wong. uh, Not a clue, as usual, of what is going to be shared, but with our heart open to just interpret whatever is passing through our body, mind, spirit, emotions. And Lily, recently in the last few maybe weeks, maybe months, probably more weeks than months, I'm receiving so many messages and questions of people that are literally completely lost.
Hmm.
And I get all giggly about it. I say, that's exactly what you need to be, lost, you know. That's the key, right? We need to be
Yes,
allowed to be lost and be friend with the idea of being lost.
yes,
And they, because they cannot grab anymore the parameters of the old, you know. Because what happens is that when our frequencies rises, and our vibration increases, its speed, because we are becoming more aware and we are kind of um, letting go our old fears.
yes,
What happened? I have the feeling that our vibrational offer become like a transportation, a vehicle,
mm-hmm.
which transfer us into a different version of this planet,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And in this different version of this Earth hologram, all of a sudden, many old rules are not longer applicable, you
Yeah,
know.
they are
So
obsolete. They're completely obsolete.
yeah,
They don't
it's not.
work. They're not needed, and nothing. It's time to create a new reality. And yeah, that can be challenging because we're used to even Google, right? I want to know
Right.
something, I go and Google. So right now, there's no Google answer for this.
No, no.
Everything is within, and you need to allow it to happen. And you're absolutely right. It's exciting in this moment. And I feel like I recently I have this feeling or this sentence, and I was like, oh, I love it because it's release what you know, so you can start vibrating the unknown, which
Yeah,
is the new.
yeah,
And already that is different. Is
yeah,
stop doing what you know. Release your concept of what you know. And there is no more so you become no. So you start vibrating because the new you need to become it. You need to be one with what is coming. But if we are attached to, we don't want to release
yeah.
what we know, that then becomes a challenge, then becomes a fight.
Absolutely. And it's no longer possible to create future or to plan or anticipate our path except for short periods of times, you know.
Yeah.
And
Forget
that's
about
really
those questions about what do you think you would do in 5 years? And then
right.
what do you think you would do in
No, no,
10 years? It's already hard to say what you're going to do in 10 hours.
exactly. So that's we need to let go of the future. Uh, Another thing I notice is impossible is to do multitasking. Multitasking, it's not possible. I just have to do one thing fully, dig into it, and be deeply,
Presence.
profoundly connected to that thing. Multitasking doesn't really well, it gets very chaotic if I start to do many things at the same time. It just my system, my whole cellular structure says no, no more multitasking. Um, and of course, it becomes more difficult, if not impossible, to connect with people who refuse to change, and they continue to sponsor, narratives that are based on fear or low emotions, because their vibration are now too low, and they can no longer enter our own vibrational range.
Yeah. It's just, it's even, it's physical, right? It's like I always see, like, if we have cables, so if in your cable you're allowing a different type of current, you cannot put the old cables into the new.
Yeah.
It's just, it creates a shock.
Yeah. Already this, I mean, letting go, of course, the past and the future, and letting go the people that we often love so much, but they are certainly not, they're not just ready to make those changes that we are actually doing. That's already is overwhelming for most of the people. They just go into panic. They just go into the fear mode themselves, and then they, of course, they'll go back to the old planet right away. So.
Love, but you say something interesting here about love, and it's not about, like the fact that we might not be in creating something because of the different frequency doesn't mean, or we need to move separate ways in this moment. It doesn't mean that it's a lack of love.
No.
That I feel that is important to mention, because sometimes I have to let, no, love is so beautiful that it's love. The more you love, the more you can be able to discern, to say, in this moment it's not good for me to be there, or it's not good to be with this person, but it's not a lack of love.
No, in fact, we are suggesting a higher level of love, an unconditional love, because, excuse me, we need to release the need and the desire that our loved ones understand or change or feels better or feel happy, and as well as the constant effort to constantly try to find solution for them that might also be a support for them, but they are mostly all when the people are not ready for the solution. I got into the dark all of a sudden. Okay.
Yeah, now we go.
Yeah, it's just the wind. They keep closing the wind. There we go again. Hold on a second. There we go. So, because I see myself also doing that with my dear ones. And I notice that when I offer a solution, that solution is interpreted as an attack.
It's true. It's
as
true.
a criticism,
It's
and
true.
it's created immediately a defensive, contracted response. So those are responses are a sign that our loved one is not ready to let go at the whatever narrative they have, the victim, the self-pity, the sorrow, whatever, and they're not willing to release and let go the anger that often is consuming their life forces. And so we need to have that love that is so strong that respect and honor that situation. And that's require quite a mastery, because also we are, going through the attachment that we have with those people we love, and we feel sorry for them. But if we raise our frequencies, we see the perfection in everything. We see the perfection in the journey of this soul, who is just right now navigating into the frequencies that where he or she can learn as much we did in the past ourselves. So
I remember very well, because that I feel that's one of the most challenging parts of also of going into the new vibration. And the nearer the person is with you in your daily life, the harder it is to see or to notice, for example, I have different tools or I have different stuff, but if they don't come and ask, it's not, you have to convince someone about it, because it doesn't work. Because it's the same when someone asks me, hey, well, you see all the energies and so on, and you know how to harmonize, and can you do it for me? I said, no, I could, but I'm not going to do it because that's taking your power away. And sometimes we believe that by helping what we think are helping them, it's actually going to not allow them to go through their own process of evolving and ascension the way they have planned it to go through. So yeah, I feel that's challenging, and we go back to love, because the more I have love for myself, the more I vibrate love, and that's the only thing I can share. So it's not about doing, it's not about talking, convincing, but if I start vibrating, as I said before, I vibrate the unknown, I vibrate the new, I vibrate the new octave of love. That is going to contage.
Yeah.
And that might be a catalyst, that may be something, inviting some others to do things, but only that by vibrating, by being it, by being this new. And a lot of times it's just in silence and just being it. And it's so powerful.
Yeah. It is. And it comes sometime the moment where you just have to let go and also kind of create distance from the situation, because sometimes the ego is so much deeply taken over the situation that no matter what you do, immediately a narrative is projected on you. So even if you stay still, oh, you don't love me. You're not saying anything, and you don't love me. Then you say something, oh, you're attacking, you're offending me because, so it doesn't matter how you juggle. And that's a really sign. You say, okay, I'm here anytime. My support is available, but is offered only when there is an official request, an invitation. Okay. And even when there is an invitation, there has to be applied a great discernment and really monitoring the vibration of the person that is asking for help, and if she or he has a sincere willing to, with great humbleness and honesty, to make the necessary changes, that can take place. And all we can do is just be an example. We cannot be a savior, of course. We can share our feelings and maybe some ideas of how we would handle the situation, but we cannot take the power away from the person. The message is, oh, poor girl, I'll do it for you. That's not love. I can say, hey, you are a master. I see in front of me a god or a goddess, and I stand for your greatness. So all I can do is to share how I am dealing with the situation, and because that's all I can offer. But I know that you can do it, because the universe never gives you more than what you can do.
Absolutely.
So,
and it's a step by step.
Yeah.
Look, whenever I talk about this subject, for me, it's a reminder, because, before I start all this beautiful path, I used to believe I was like a know-it-all. Lily, I know it all. That's a very, very bad point of being somewhere, because then you don't evolve. But the point was that a lot of people will come to me for advice. And hey, Lily knows it all. She will give the best advice, She will come with all the problems, and I will give them step by step the solution to that problem, And in a linear way, it seemed that the solution for what they were looking, the problem would solve. But then, days later, months later, they have a situation very similar. And I was like, how did that happen? And was like, oh, when I realized this, when I put myself into the I know nothing, and I just put in this situation of, oh, and then this a lot of the same people will come to ask me to give them a solution, and I say, well, I can help you to feel more your intuition, so you can have your own solution. I say, no, give you yours. No, I learned my own lessons about it. I think it's the most selfish, egocentric thing to do. I'm taking the power away to do. I was, oh my God, I'm such a, and when you notice, well, now I'm laughing about it. That was the way I survive in my own, I create my own persona into it, and then I release it. And I remember this person say, but I might take, oh, I was shocked when she answered that. She said, but I might take a solution that you didn't think is the right one. I said, who cares what I care? It's going to be yours. Now it's up to you to take it. And
Yeah.
I, for me, it's so precisely. And this is also when people come in personal sessions and so on. I say, no, I'm just a medium. I'm gonna give you the message, maybe just for now. The more you evolve, then the thing is that you're gonna empower yourself. I'm gonna help you to empower yourself. So the more and more you release, and I'm gonna give you tools. But the tools is for you to use. So you have something to keep on your path. But the solutions, you're gonna have to find it. And the decisions what to do, they're yours to take. And I felt also very empowered when I could release that position of knowing it all,
Yeah. Yeah. So this new Earth Dreams is coming with that release, the release of the future and past, release of attachment with the old idea of what love is, and the embrace of a love that is a celebration of freedom. And also the embrace of the mystery, and as you said, of not knowing, releasing the idea that we know, and rather than using the idea of knowing, just using the resonance and dissonance meters in order to navigate through the journey. So it's not about, oh, I know this and therefore I do it. It's more like I feel that this is where I want to, it's what I want to experience, where I want to go now.
Yeah. It's like a difference between knowledge and wisdom. And knowledge is something you know because it's here and that's the rules and this is what you Google. And wisdom is what you feel. Wisdom is something that takes all over you, that vibrates in you. And said, this is it. And it's another kind of knowing, but it's like I'm going this way because it's something. There is nothing can tell you the not. You can have many arguments, but when you feel it, when it's something within you, when there's wisdom in you, you say, this is it. There's no questions. There are no more questions about it. You just go. You just know, but from a wisdom, not from knowledge.
Yeah.
Right? And that's something we need to train, I feel. And we are so much powerful that when we sometimes allow us to believe.
It's also no longer possible to be in disharmony or out of integrity with our true essence. So we cannot longer perform functions that do not support unity, that do not support love, that do not support evolution, that do not support the good of all. So we will have to let go all these scarcity, survival-based jobs and activities uh, the art of doing business, which is the foundation is most of the time, not always, but most of the time, is very manipulative and very sneaky, the profit at any cost, and start to completely let go of that, because that's not sustainable in the world that we are embracing as we raise up our frequencies. So there's a lot of things that are changing. So if in this period people find themselves no longer able to do what they have done so far, and they feel that they no longer know what they're going to do in their paths, that's a good sign. It means
Yes.
they are transitioning,
Yes.
and they're moving towards a version of the human experience that embraces a softer and more gentle level of duality. So we need to allow the unknown to embrace us completely. We need to align ourselves with the here and now, and give our complete trust to the mystery of life, which is our natural state of being. It's our natural state of, is that natural state of being that we abandoned thousands of years ago in order to navigate through the lower frequencies, have some interesting experiences in the frequencies of separation, and now we are finally embracing them again, and we are activating them again.
Yeah. We're ready.
We are ready, yes. Yes, we are. And the new world, and many people ask me, so Marco, how is it going to be, this new world? How is it going to be? What does it mean? In what way is going to be different? Well, I'm sure you have your own ideas about it, your own feelings about how this amazing, I don't know if you want to call it 5D world or whatever label you want to get. You don't have to label it, but this new Earth is going to present itself, which is our natural way of being. Just we have temporarily forgotten, but is a free holographic society, where we will have access to true knowledge, right? Unlimited resources.
Absolutely.
We will again dropping completely this belief of lack and scarcity will be completely gone. We will have access to interaction with other star species, other
Yeah,
expression
bigger
of life.
party.
We will have more colors we have forgotten that exist. And our consciousness will be able to capture a wider range of so many informations. We will see, for example, better in the darkness, in the dark. We will, our things will be more sensitive. For example, we will be able to detach if there is printing in a paper or not. We will have telepathy, and the interaction with nature is going to be phenomenal. I mean, our interaction with the mineral kingdom, with the vegetable kingdom, with the plants kingdom, with the animal kingdom is going to be so fascinating, so full of love, so full of co-creative information, such an amazing dance with the insects, with the trees. It's going to be like an orgasmic interaction with all this
All
beautiful
the time. Yes.
right. So it's an imagination is not going anymore to be interpreted as a fantasy. We have been programmed to believe that imagination is a fantasy. Imagination is the basic foundation for a new
For
creation.
creation. Claro.
That is the source is talking to us. And I don't even want to get into the avatar. What is going to happen to our avatar?
Well, what is happening already with the avatar? But
Right.
yeah, I feel we're going to see sound and hear color.
Yeah.
Just going to that for me. It's the sum up what you just said, because there's so many things, but as we are so use to just see with our eyes. No, you're gonna see with your ears. You
Yeah.
see, you're gonna smell with your eyes. I mean, we go into places where it's hard to comprehend if we don't release the box, if we don't release what we know, when I said at the beginning,
Yeah.
because there are places that we just gonna get to know right now. There's places that it's the change is happening right now, and as you mentioned, as for the avatar, my body is having the deepest changes ever, and I know I feel it, I see it. It's like whoa. There's a preparation at all levels, and when where I notice it the most is exactly what you're saying. My connection with nature, it gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And it's like, oh my God, it's such a beauty that in it my heart expanded in the deeper connection that I can get with any kingdom. And I feel also Gaia in its cycles. It's going to another octave. So when I go and connect this, there's a new element. What I knew as fire, now it's another kind of fire. What I knew as a wind is another kind of wind. And my own avatar is new. It's everything is upgrading. And if you allow it, start to observe it. Don't try to look for the answer outside. It's okay. Everything is changing. Observe it. Don't get in panic. Everything is moving. So start to relearn. It's like, oh, with this new avatar, well, maybe I can move my fingers a little bit longer. No, let's try. But gently. Don't go like this. It's what else? There's a new avatar. What if I eat this different? How am I breathing? Am I breathing different? What's my connection? It start to be like a kid when it's opened the eyes for the first time here on this planet. I feel that's how we need to see it again. Open up and try touching things again. Try moving. What can I do? So the more I allow myself to vibrate this new, the more I'll know, oh, this is how it works now. Oh, oh, look at this. Yes, I can hear the colors. I can see the music, and so on.
When I landed here, it took me a while to adjust, because all these my range of perception of the reality was, and it took me a while to understand just that it was wider than the common human. I would see aura, I would see all kind of frequencies. And for example, in the just to give you an example, in the topic of opposite sex, I remember the first good 20 years of my life, I was always in love, always. I was in love with every lips, every eyes, every cheek, everything, because I would see so much more information than just what was the and so I would see the aura, I would see the soul, and instantly I would fall in love. And it took me a while to realize that what I would see and what was the present personality structure were not necessarily a match. And that would buffer me. I would be very confused, because wow, she's so beautiful. And then I would talk to her, I would come close, and stuff would come out, beautiful stuff, nothing wrong with it, but
but not coherence, not in coherence with the whole structure.
Right, exactly. So it took me a good 20, 25 years to manage this discrepancy from what I would see and feel, and also the emotion that would create on me the presence of this goddess, and then understand that the goddess that I saw in her, whoever was her in that moment, was a beautiful potentiality that wasn't necessarily just yet eradicated in her personality structure. And so I would have to back off and say, okay, but it was really tricky for me, you know?
Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. And
yes,
I
now
think
I learned that.
that's even in a very subtle way. Most of the people, when there's this attraction, but where there's really love, there's or when they feel something, it's more energetically. It's more what they feel than rather what they just perceive. It's so bigger. But when you can see that, what you're just saying, absolutely, because there is this is exactly what we're learning to become more coherent within our energy field and consciousness field, all the potential in flesh, in the action, in the
Yeah.
breathing.
Yeah. So I very much look forward the time where the what I have been seeing all my life here on planet Earth will be a match of the physical representation, so that I can really we can really play, because until now it's been
Yeah.
very difficult and complicated to really play as somehow I knew we used to play before this temporarily restricted experience. You know, the sexuality, the intimacy, the interaction here is so perverted and twisted and complicated
Very.
and full of fear, full of judgment. And for me, it was like, it's
What's
really
going
simple,
on?
right? You know,
Oh my God, I can imagine. Well, we're
yeah.
going there. We're going there, Michael. We're doing everything with that.
Yes, yeah. Well, now I passed that phase, thank God, because it was an intense phase.
Oh, I can believe that.
And I would put that experience into the music,
Mm.
because I would use music to try to open up a portal between the personality structure and what I would see. Okay. And this is not only related to a romantic relationship, but also related to the fear and the pain that the collective that was around me was constantly sponsoring and accepting and producing. So I would go to the music in order to break through that veil and show, and through the power of vibration of music, in my case, music, melodies, and whatever, I would attempt to say, "Hey, look, this is love. Can you feel it? That's what you're feeling right now is not real. This is what is real." You know, that's what I would do.
No, it's very powerful, the art, um, because there are there are less veils, right? There are
Yeah.
less veils. Um, I have to go back to this right now. For me, that's why the I language, the sound of consciousness of Timalu, it's so
Mm.
powerful because it's cosmic universal love, the essence of Timalu. Therefore, it breaks through any kind of limitation, any kind of layer. So when I just vibrate Timalu and I put it into the room, Timalu, Timalu, I'm exactly with the same purpose of you with the music. It's like, feel. This is different. And because it's not the same, like what we were saying, I'm not trying to help you or this because it's just vibration. There's no resistance. And it's just, it's not even energy. We're talking about so high consciousness that there's no resistance and it comes in it. And I can see how it starts diluting whatever kind of resistance, whatever kind of blockages is Timalu, and it's like, oh, this is so beautiful, and this is how I can share, right? It's just from my own, and it's strength than the energy field. So what I feel with the Timalu, it's the exactly that part, what you were saying, Marco, about what you could perceive, it gets stronger. So when this is filled with cosmic universal love, the Timalu, suddenly that structure that it's not coherent start to get more incoherent. It start all the layers start to be more coherent and expressing more the true soul in this physical avatar, as you call it, in this physical container that we have. And it goes back to love. It goes back to a higher vibration of love. Because this is also, as human beings, what is being misinterpreted, because you can love so much. It doesn't mean that it has to have any kind of relationship of any kind. And sometimes it's co-creative. So there's some, we put again love in boxes of, oh, well, oh, my girlfriend, or my partner, or, mother, or my sister. And it's like, love is infinite. Why do we put a box into it? Why do we want to have one thing? Also, oh, well, if, the part is like, well, are you homosexual? Are you one sexual, bisexual, trisexual? It's like, why do we want this? It's just, love. And sometimes as the love gets more physical with the soul that it's here too. So that complemental expression of love, it's time we release it.
Yeah.
So we become more coherent with that higher container that it's waiting for us.
Yeah, in fact, in regard of this topic, I am now, it's been already a while, but I'm in a state of total appreciation and gratitude, because I understand the value and the lesson that I had to learn when I came with that characteristics of being able to capture so many aspects of the non-physical aspect of a soul. And at first feeling lost in it, and having to recognize the differences, and now being able to master. So still able to recognize the soulfulness of the person, but also have the master the allowance to play small for the sake of having some experiences in those frequencies without judging them. Because often in the romantic relationship, sometimes I see some amazing goddess that take my breath away, and then I see their life playing so small, or maybe being attached to men that don't seems to be a match at all, And sometimes I remember in the past I say, why is such an amazing, beautiful woman it's coupling with this? It's a lovely guy, but it's really not even a fraction of her power, And then I learned to understand that there is a perfection in everything, and there are contracts, there are exchanges that needs to be done at different levels, and so it's important to remove the judgment and see the perfection once again in everything, and see that everything is in divine shape, in divine timing. And so it's all good. But it took me a good 25, 30 years to really master that. I'm still working on it, of course, but now it's much, much easier for me,
Yeah, no, I understand. But for me, I got into the understanding of synchronicity, how synchronicity is not everybody going in the same path or doing the same path, but sometimes the synchronicity happens because everybody is doing their own path, and some is straight, someone is like this, someone is like this, one is going very fast, the other one's going very slow. And I feel sometimes in relationships these two paths need to, they are not exactly in the same as
No.
a partner, but because they are not in the same, they bring experiences that allows the each path to be unique.
And that's I totally resonate with what you're saying, because this is the particular characteristic of this operating system, of this hologram called Earth. Earth is differently from other experiences that we can choose as soul, is a transformational center based on diversity and uniqueness. And so in many others operating system, more or less everybody move towards the same, in the same manner. They're all together, community going together. Here is like everybody has their own speed, their own color, their own frequencies. Some are slower, faster, higher, lower. It's just a traffic jam of different different expression, and that makes the soul very excited, because in this operating system, the soul can really go deep into his own uniqueness, like probably not in no other operating system, at least that I remember of.
Yeah. No. And that, as you, for me, was difficult to understand this. That's why also I was mentioned before, it's like, oh, what if I'm going to, why don't you see what I see? You know, it's like, why you take that decision if, because they don't. Sometimes you see other things and they see another things, and they see what they need to do to take that decision. And that took me also, that was a lot of frustration and a lot of misunderstanding and a lot of judgment, till I say, oh, look how beautiful everything. Oh, everything is going, but it's still in synchronicity. They say, oh, that was yeah, like you said, it was hard.
Yeah.
Because I could not, it's like, I cannot understand it. And when I was able to really feel it, because not just see it, to feel it, like, oh, and then I can breathe in it, you say, and say yes. And then when we talk about, well, you know, we just cross paths. There's a reason. I'm going to suggest this if it feels right. But I'm not going to try to plug you into my own path. I'm not going to try to pull you to advance faster. I'm not going to try to no. It's like, we just cross path here. Tell me, share with me, what are you doing there? I'm sharing you. And maybe we stay for a while together, maybe not. You know, let's keep on the path, on your unique path. And this is, for me, is instead of concentrating how the others should come to this path and losing a lot of energy,
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to concentrate of enjoying my own unique path and allow things to happen.
Yeah. And also we need to understand that the matrix is designed to cause a reaction on us. So it is how we manage our reaction that truly matter. So the matrix constantly is reading our stream of thoughts, of feeling, of emotions, of action, of what we believe, and based on that, it gave us a reality. All right, so that is some sort of a test in a way that give us an opportunity to see ourselves and learn to respond, because is our attitude towards our circumstances that makes the learning, the experience, how we respond to reality, because reality always come neutral. Is the way how we respond that creates the reality. So this tied up very much to what we have been saying so far, because once we understand and we fundamentally we need to learn to monitor constantly our vibration.
Yes.
That's what it's all about. It's constantly monitoring our vibration, and then make sure that if we feel bad, for example, we don't fight it, because what we resist, it persists, right? So we don't fight it, we just accept it, we allow it, and we learn from it, so that we can not control our emotions, but guide our emotion, shape
mastery. I call it a mastery of the emotions.
Yeah.
And also, it's I feel what you're saying for me, it's not allowing just to react, because those things, when it happened, then they happen, but to start masterfully taking conscious decisions, conscious actions. And it requires, that's monitoring what you're saying. So stop just, and it's like you say, it's going to still happen, but then be aware. Oh, I just react. It was like, chink. And for me, fun, you need to have fun with this, instead of judging and I just react. And I was like, I just react. And have fun with it. And don't worry, you're going to have opportunity to pass it again. And then suddenly, and I think I don't know you, Marco, but me, suddenly a situation come whether normally we'll react this way, and suddenly I consciously decide to act differently. And there's so much joy in me. It's like, oh, this is nice.
It's beautiful. Because then that is past, and so the next wave of creation will not bring that challenges anymore, will not test you anymore, because you passed that, and so now new possibilities are you, but before we're not.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
That's why many people sometimes get frustrated, because they declare what they wish, and then sometimes they get big challenging responses from life. But of course, if I decide that I want 10, life says, well, you got 3, 4, and 7 to resolve before you can get to 10. So here we go. I'll give you all this stuff on 3, 7, and 5 to resolve. You can get there, And some people make the mistake to feel discouraged by that. They feel, oh my God,
the universe don't love me.
Quite the opposite.
Quite the opposite. I agree.
It's like I remember when I was a child, there was a lovely aquarium in the house, and I would spend hours to look at the fishes and the water, and it seems very clean. The aquarium, very transparent. There was a beautiful light. There was a lot of colors. There was a lot of plants, and different little tropical fish with very beautiful. However, when my mom would come and move some stuff around the aquarium, all of a sudden, all this mud would come to the surface, right?
Yes.
So I would say, well, it wasn't so clean as I thought. Right?
Yes, that's a very good example.
Right. So that's what is happening. So we think that we are clean, and then we dare into whatever is our narrative. And of course, we shake our aquarium. The aquarium reveal itself for all the things that needs to be cleaned. So bring to the surface all the darkness that before was not seeable. We could not monitor it because it was hidden behind the bottom of the aquarium, in this analogy. And that's what's happening quite very much in the world right now.
Absolutely.
All the dust.
That's what happened. The aquarium was shaken.
Right, really big shake. And so all of a sudden we thought we had a very clean aquarium, and we realized that it wasn't. It was far from being clean. It actually was quite dirty. And so now we have to see all this dirt and and make a choice. What are we going to do? Are we going to clean it, or we are going to let it sit back and pretend it doesn't exist?
Exactly. Exactly. And I know you or me, I'm asking for evolving and ascending. I have the feeling you do the same.
Yeah.
And there are many others too. And suddenly we got this situation on the planet that it's helping us to do so. And yeah, it's uncomfortable to see the aquarium dirty.
Yeah.
And because it lights up the personal aquarium and the collective aquarium,
Yeah.
and they're both dirty. So it needs cleansing, but that's responding for what I'm asking, evolving and ascending individually as a planet. So sometimes I ask people the same. I have a lot of people that they say, yeah, but if I'm asking and then it's coming, and I say, well, then be coherent also. It's also valid. If you say, I don't want to evolve and ascend, perfect, then you're going to keep doing this. But if you want something else, but you don't want to do the changes that requires, this is what is going to be challenging. So it's also valid. Stop asking to evolve and ascend, for example.
Yeah.
Then leave it. It's valid. But take responsibility for whatever is that you ask for your decisions and your creations.
Yeah, and that's the maturity consciousness we all get there our own time. But right now we got a collective where there is quite a big chunk of the collective that wants just nobody to shake the aquarium, and so that we pretend that everything is fine and is clean. And there are few that say, no, let's shake it more so we can get rid of the stuff and we can have an aquarium that is really incredibly full of light and colors.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So that's the division right now that is occurring.
Yes. Yes.
And that's take us back to the beginning of this transmission, where we said that as you move higher your frequencies, you project yourself, your vibrational offer become a vehicle that transcends you to a version of the aquarium that is cleaner.
Yes. And a version of aquarium where maybe water has another substitute. And then you will be able to see new kind of fish. Then you're going to be able to see new kind of minerals. You're going to be able to hear, this is for me the exciting. Yes. Yeah, I have to go through the cleaning, but a new aquarium is waiting for us, the new version, which is going to be cleaner. And for sure, it might get dirty again, and we're going to have to shake it if we want to keep moving. That's part of the process.
Yeah, but the fact is that the more you go higher, the more the dualistic aspect it gets softer, right?
Yes. Yes.
So of course there is always ongoing evolutionary pattern, because that's what makes the whole journey fun. But eventually we won't have to deal anymore with this really very contracted situation. I mean, we really are at the bottom here. I mean, we are into the satanic darkness, so we are really getting to,
I really loved that thing because I could really see it, the shaking of the aquarium. Like,
yeah.
I get it.
And everybody tried to look at the other way,
Yeah. It's like, let me move.
Right.
Somehow it's like, let me jump out of this aquarium. And it's all the kind of solutions, or let me send this fish to clear it up for me. Instead of doing myself, it's like, who can I contract to come and clean my my aquarium?
Yes. Yeah. So that's what is happening right now, and but it's good because at least finally this again aquarium is being shaken, because before it was a whole pretending, and now we can really dive into the physical experience for what really is, which we haven't had the real physical experience in the last 10,000 years, because we have been with an avatar that is like 95% shut down. We have an ego that is constantly creating past and future and contraction and separation. We have a world that is full of all these, very, very low frequencies, addiction. And so now finally we are shaking it, so that we can make a choice, at least become aware and make a responsible choice, the ability to respond, and that's, I think, is very, very exciting. Personally, I've been waiting for this since I was 3 years old.
Oh, it's coming, Marco. It's coming.
Yeah, it's what. No, but it is perfect, as it is even now. I'm enjoying every moment. I am not able anymore to project the future. I noticed in the last few months, maybe a couple of years, no, maybe 1 year, that it's hard for me to even say what I'm going to do 2 weeks from now. And that's perfectly fine for me. I have no problem with it. Actually, I like it. I love it.
It's nice. It's an adventure. It becomes really an adventure.
Yeah.
I agree. Beautiful.
Okay, I think we already passed the hour almost. Well, okay, so this was another lovely interaction.
Yes.
As usual, I enjoy it very much, and I always learn from it.
Yeah.
So thank you, Lily, and thank you all for being with us. And I guess we will see each other in the next transmission, probably in a couple of weeks or 3 weeks, or whatever it's going to be. I cannot make a future. So.
Surprise. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Marco.
Thank you, Lily. Thank you. I love you very much.
Me too.
Bye bye. Ciao.